Greetings everyone. So I thought I would comment on this recent development of Calvin Robinson basically being laicized by the Anglican Catholic Church. Now the reason for this was basically an alleged Nazi salute that he did at the end of a speech that he gave. What he was actually doing was mimicking Elon Musk, who gave a similar kind of gesture after one of his speeches and then was being criticized for making some kind of a Nazi salute. And Calvin Robinson was essentially making light of that, making that gesture to show that it's absurd to suggest such a thing. And his way of showing that it's absurd was going to be to do that as well. And essentially say he doesn't care if people are saying this is a Nazi gesture. It clearly isn't, and therefore he's going to make this gesture. Here's the video.
This I see as the last stand for the West. This is the last stand for Christendom. It's make or break time. The whole of the old world is crumbling. Every country in Europe is embracing death. America, as far as I could see, is the only country fighting for life. And that's down to you guys. So God bless all of you for what you're doing. Please keep doing it. I hope that I can encourage you. And my heart goes out to you. God bless.
You know, there are elections that come and go. Some elections are, important, some are not. But this one this one really mattered. And I just want to say thank you for making it happen. Thank you. My heart goes out to you.
That happened, and then supposedly, other than some criticism from the left, things moved on. But then Calvin Robinson started reading that there had been a press statement released about him, and the press statement essentially said that he had been defrocked, or as people prefer to call it, laicized, by the Anglican Catholic Church, the ACC. This is the statement from the 29th of January, saying at approximately 3 p.m. today, members of the College of Bishops of the ACC were made aware of a post showing the end of a speech made by Calvin Robinson at the National Pro-Life Summit in Washington, D.C. In it, he closed his comments with a gesture that many have interpreted as a pro-Nazi salute. While we cannot say what was in Mr. Robinson's heart when he did this, his action appears to have been an attempt to curry favor with certain elements of the American political right by provoking its opposition. Mr. Robinson had been warned that online trolling and other such actions, whether in service of the left or right, are incompatible with a priestly vocation, and was told to desist. Clearly he hasn't, and as such, his license in his church has been revoked. He is no longer serving as a priest in the ACC. Furthermore, we understand that this isn't just an administrative matter. The Holocaust was an episode of unspeakable horror enacted by a regime of evil men. We condemn Nazi ideology and anti-Semitism in all its forms, and we believe that those who mimic the Nazi salute, even as a joke or an attempt to troll their opponents, trivialize the horror of the Holocaust and diminish the sacrifice of those who fought against its perpetrators. Such actions are harmful, divisive, and contrary to the tenets of Christian charity. Finally, we pray that God will give us grace to lay aside our unhappy divisions, and we commend our nation and ourselves to his almighty protection. So Calvin Robinson saw this statement, I'm guessing in one of the articles that was written about what he did, or perhaps he just saw that press release from the Anglican Catholic Church, and he was surprised to find out about his laicization, about his license being revoked, because he hadn't been told about this. He didn't get a call about this or anything. So then he went into his emails to see if he could find something, and he did actually find something telling him this. And here is a clip of him just recently talking to Lawrence Fox about that.
So I searched my inbox, and there is indeed an email amongst all of the abusive ones from my Archbishop, essentially saying very similar to what was on the press release. And I'm like, oh, okay, so I've had my license removed. This is bizarre. I'm like, I don't really know what to do. I can't obviously call him at 10 o'clock, or 10 at night, or whatever it was. I'll speak tomorrow. Get up first thing Thursday morning, send an email to the bishop saying, can we have a phone conversation or a Zoom call or something? And I get a response saying, I'm getting a lot of emails today. Just write to me whatever you want to write to me. And I'm like, okay, this is, first and foremost, there's a duty of care. Secondly, it's just unprofessional to not, in whatever relationship anyone has with a subordinate, to not speak to them face to face. And thirdly, it'd be nice to have due process or a trial or conversation, a chance to explain myself, a chance to apologize, whatever. Just to be fired by a press release and potentially an email and kind of not have any conversation, I find that troubling. But I'm trying very hard not to speak directly about the Archbishop, because I am obedient to my bishops, and I've had press requests from all over. I mean, it has been covered by Independent, The Guardian, The Rolling Stone, for goodness sake, Fox, USA Today. It's all over the shop, and I've rejected every single press request and said I'm not speaking to the media until I've had a conversation with my Archbishop.
These are Christians. These people are meant to be Christians. Why are they not like straight on the phone to you saying, "Hey, Calvin, listen, this has created a big hoo-ha, and for whatever reason, we'll discuss the wisdom or lack thereof later. But what do you think we should do?" Rather than waking up to a press release.
So that was quite surprising. To get this email and then to reply and ask his bishop if he could have a conversation with him about this, and then to be told by his bishop that he's dealing with lots of things, he's busy, and if he wants to say anything to him, he can just write it to him in an email. It's an odd response from a bishop to give, and I can understand Calvin Robinson being rather perplexed with such a response. So essentially, Calvin Robinson has been cancelled again. His first cancellation occurred at GB News, where he was a presenter in the UK. He was also then later kicked out of the Free Church of England, which was kind of a group opposing the Church of England, because of course previously, initially, Calvin Robinson had tried to be a priest in the Church of England and he wasn't accepted into that church. So he was kicked out of the Free Church of England, and now he has been laicized and had his license revoked by the Anglican Catholic Church, that as far as I know isn't in communion with Rome. Of course, the problem that Calvin has is that he's very active in, you could say, political discourse. As well as being a priest, he also is very opinionated online, and a lot of his opinions are very disliked. Now, that isn't to say that he has opinions that are wrong, but he likes to sort of poke fun at people on the left side, ideologically and politically. And according to that statement that I read to you earlier, by the Anglican Catholic bishops, they did tell him to please stop doing that, and he hasn't, and I suppose that's influenced their decision to take his license away. It seems harsh, and as I said before, I thought the bishop's response to Calvin was not very pastorally. I often feel that if somebody wants to talk to a priest or a bishop, and particularly if it's a priest who wants to talk to his bishop, the bishop should surely talk to him, but it didn't happen in this instance. Anyway, folks, let me know your thoughts on this whole situation. Thank you very much for watching the video, and have a blessed day.